Hello everyone, welcome to Anime Chat. It is I, your host, Pop. And seeing as how I am away, I'm going to use this time to pre-record my anime theme of the month, World War II. And I'm going to go over one of the shows I happen to watch. So, I usually go through the news of the week on when I'm doing this live, but seeing as how you're all caught up, if you watched my last stream, you can find out what the news will be. So I'm going to start out with the main event, and the show I chose was called Zero Sen Hayato. And this is a lost media in the anime world. There's only a couple episodes. In fact, I think you'll only find maybe one or two out of the 38 episodes that were made for this. And this was done back in 1964, so it's black and white. And as we watch this, we'll see that the main character kind of reminds me of Speed Racer, if you can believe it. I mean, look at that guy. Look at those eyebrows. Totally Speed Racer right there. A little bit better animation than watching on Tetsudan. Right now we're just watching the beginning title sequence, as it were. Now a lot of planes are flying in formation. And then we start the story with the guys coming in after some hard training, and they just collapse. They are been worked hard, and they are exhausted. And there's our hero there, Hayato. And there's no subtitles or dubbing in this at all, so it's all in Japanese. So I had just kind of guess what they were going on about. And I believe that's Hayato's rival. He seems to be a real studious flyer. And I think him and Hayato are like rivals. So I'm hoping that one day somebody does subtitle this, because I'd really like to know what's going on. So they're all having lunch or dinner. His rival is still studying that book, so he's really a conscientious studying kind of guy, hard worker. But then the alarm goes off. I believe they have to scramble, get in their planes, and get out there. And they've all made it into the sky. Well, I don't know. Now they're being talked to by the head guy. I don't know whether they didn't get up in the sky fast enough and he says they're too slow. Playing taps for the night. Everybody is sleeping away, resting. Except for Hayato. He is getting in his plane as fast as he can and taking off. He's practicing taking off. And I believe his rival is up there too. Yeah, there he is. So those two are friendly rivals, it looks like. See who can work the hardest and get up in the air the fastest. I'm not quite sure what's going on now. These guys are still practicing. And is that their objective? Let's see here. No, those look like Japanese planes. And as day goes to night, everybody is relaxing in the barracks. Or maybe not the barracks, maybe it's the it's the mess hall. Hayato's rival is still reading that book. These guys are like, hey, let us introduce ourselves. Here, let's have a drink. And there's this fella. I don't know how he's getting all bent out of shape, but he starts bullying everybody. Showing him how strong he is. He starts bullying Hayato. And he throws him to the ground. I think he gave him a punch in the face. There's the top guy, the general, it must be. Yeah, it looks like there's a brawl in the mess hall. Those guys don't know it yet. The head guys aren't aware. Until they get caught. I think the lieutenant or the captain catches those guys and he's like, no, you guys go ahead, you duke it out. The big guy gets flattened, but Hayato gets a couple of bumps and bruises. They are ready for tomorrow's flight. I think they're going to attack one of the islands, but it seems to I'm watching this and it's like looks like they threw in some live action shots of the ocean as well as to go with the animation. Once again, there's live actions the ocean, but they put over top of it some animated shadows, planes. Same with the aircraft carriers. Now everyone's getting last minute instructions, I guess. As they get to they're going to go to their planes. Get sent off by the crews. They are heading to their objective. Go, they're still flying. They've got to meet some resistance soon, I would think. And there's the objective. And the bomb bay doors open and bombs away. Yeah, they do some big damage and kick a hornet's nest, and here come the Americans fighting back. Yeah, just the amount of firepower you can see coming from the look at that. Just everything shooting. Everything. All the naval vessels are just opened up on all the planes. And yeah, there's devastation everywhere. Lots of dogfighting. I believe Hayato and his rival are like showing off their piloting abilities as they both fly upside down. Hayato shows the guy, look, I can do that too. But I think they are like, okay, that's good. We can head back to base. We've mission accomplished. And I believe that's the end of the episode. Yeah, that's the end of the episode. So if you can find this, it's on YouTube. It's not, you can't like I say, I can't understand it. There's no subtitles. So your guess is as good as mine as to what's going on. But do yourself a favor and have a look, have a watch. The animation is quite good. It was made, like I say, in the 60s. Yeah, and the guy who is the original creator is named Naoki Tsuji. And he was responsible for the character designs for Tiger Mask. He didn't do much in that regard. He did Tiger Mask for manga, and then Tiger Mask for anime, and then just the last one we just saw there, Zero Sen Hayato. So, there you go. That is another World War II anime for you. Now, I will go over the ones that I've played for you so far. So, the very first week was one called The Cockpit. And it is 3 different vignettes. Right? The first one is called Slipstream, the second one is Sonic Boom Squadron, and the third one is called Night of the Iron Dragon. And this was done by Leiji Matsumoto in 1993. So yeah, 3-episode OVA, very enjoyable. It's his art style, so if you've watched Space Battleship Yamato or Captain Harlock or Galaxy Express 39, you know what you're getting into. You know what the characters are going to look like. So, very enjoyable. I thought it was well done. I watched all 3 of them, and they were great. The second one, Momotaro no Umiwashi. This one is from 1943, so it was made during the war and shown to children as a friendly way to show them what's going on here. Apparently Momotaro is a great Japanese hero. And yes, his friendship with all the animals. We saw dogs and monkeys and... what else was there? There was dogs, there was monkeys, and there was birds. And yeah, he shows that they're all working together to attack an island, and the animals are the pilots and the crew, and Momotaro just stays back on the aircraft carrier while they go and bomb the island. And that was from 1943. And they're very sparse on any kind of information as to who wrote, and they have the director, which was Mitsuyo Seo, but that's it. And there was a sequel called Momotaro Sacred Sailors. So if you're interested in that, you can watch more Momotaro. And I believe I found that on YouTube as well. So it's amazing what you'll find on YouTube if you know what to type in. The previous week, I showcased Ketsudan. This is a very straightforward retelling of the war in the Pacific. It has a lot of panning shots. It's got some subtitles, and not too bad animation. And they could have done better. I don't think they got a very big budget for it, so it really shows. But it was pretty good. There's 26 episodes. I watched the first 3. The first one details the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And then episode 2 and 3, they get into the Battle of Midway. And Midway was, as you well know, for you historians out there, that was the turning point in the war. The Allies, the Americans, had cracked the code, and they knew what the Japanese were up to then. So once they had done that, they knew where they were going to strike, and they knew to meet them there and battle them head on. So yes, watching the Battle of Midway unfold was very good, very cool battle that they had there. And yes, you can see even when the Japanese are losing, the captain of the ship and I believe his first officer, they tell everyone else to abandon the ship because it's sinking, and they stay with the ship. The captain and the first officer, they lash themselves to a beam with some rope, and they get dragged down with the ship. So that is pretty crazy that happened, but it's I guess it's the honorable way to go. So yes, Ketsudan. It can't be too long. It's only 26 episodes, so you should be able to finish that pretty easily. There was some honorable mentions as well. I really enjoyed watching Zepang. It does take place in World War II, but it's because a ship from modern times gets sent back to 1942. So it's just like that. It's just like that one film. I believe it's called The Final Countdown, where an American aircraft carrier gets sent back from modern day times to 1941. They could stop the bombing of Pearl Harbor. So this is sort of the other way around. The modern Japanese warship gets sent back to 1942 at the Battle of Midway, and they could just change the whole thing. They could just alter all of history by just interfering just a little bit. And it's pretty interesting to watch this show. It's very, very well done. 26 episodes as well, so very easily gotten through. And it's from 2004, 2005. The animation quality is very good. What else was there? We've already gone through Zero Sen Hayato. Looking at the ones that I've seen before, Grave of the Fireflies. Yes, takes place during World War II. The bombing, what happens to everyone. So it's the aftermath of the bombing. 2 orphan children struggle to survive in the Japanese countryside. The helplessness and indifference of their countrymen is even more painful than the enemy raids. Through desperation, hunger, and grief, these children's lives are heartwarmingly fragile. The spirit and love is inspiring. So yes, this is a heart-wrenching show. It's a movie, 1 hour and 28 minutes. Grave of the Fireflies. You have to watch it at least once, I think. Some other ones, Kishin Corps. That's an alternate history where they have giant mechs during World War II. It's only 7 episodes long. I'm slowly working my way through that one. If you get a chance, I think you should watch that one too. What else was there? Oh, yes. If you like your Fleet Girls, you will want to watch Kankole or Kantai Collection. There's a season 1, a movie, and season 2. And that is very enjoyable. You have the cute anime girls are the personification of famous Japanese ships. They have them, they have the Congo sisters, they have Yamato, they have Fubuki, all the different kinds of ships, and they take on the enemies. I believe they were called the Abyssals. So yes, season 2, even shorter than season 1. Season 2 is 8 episodes, and it is very well done. So yes, Kankole and Kankole season 2. If you like battleships and cruisers and destroyers and all that kind of good stuff, battling on the ocean. I know I did. I really enjoyed it. So I think it needs to get a little more love from everybody. But yeah, that is my take on World War II anime. It's pretty, I find it quite interesting to see it from the other point of view. Obviously, when you're in war, you're only going to be told certain things by your side. The other side is going to be told certain things by their side. We're never going to be told the truth as to what happens. So it's to me, it's very interesting to look at it from the Japanese point of view, what they thought, what their thoughts were, what they were being told at the time, and just how they deal with it, with the aftermath. You can see some of the ones that were made after the war, in the 60s, 70s, the 90s, and all that. They have quite deep reflection. You know, they say we have lessons that we should learn. And yeah, they do. We all do. Both sides, you know, have lessons to learn. And especially when you watch things like Grave of the Fireflies, you see that it's very terrible. And another one that I think would be a good one to watch, I saw, was, it's a movie, Nagasaki, 1945, Angelus no Kane. Once again, it's takes place in Nagasaki, which was the second city to have the atomic bomb dropped on it. And this one is about a young doctor who works to help his patients as unsettling news comes of a new weapon used by the Americans on the city of Hiroshima. When the second nuclear weapon is dropped on Nagasaki, the hospital and staff must work to save lives in the midst of the concentric circles of death that their city has become. So, personally, I am going to tune into this and give it a watch. I'm going to set that up right now. I'm planning to watch that. So there you go. Nagasaki, 1945. That would be a one to watch on my list. It'll bring a sobering reminder to people that you do not want an atomic war. It is not a good idea. There's no way that you should ever want something like that to happen. It is horrific. But there we go. This is it. World War II theme for August is done, and I will have to come up with something for September. I'll be open to suggestions if you guys have any. Leave me some comments. You know how to get a hold of me. Talk to me on my live streams. You know, anything like that. Catch me on Twitter. You know what to do. Anyway, I hope you had a good time. I know I did. And I hope to see you all very soon. Till next time, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.